Double whammy.
That line wasn't in the movie, but there was a bullet that totally melted a guy's head, so I mean, that was cool. Dredd. Not Judge Dredd, nope, just Dredd. One word name. What a drama queen. So Dredd is a reboot of the Judge Dredd story. And now for the reboot, they got Carl Urban being Judge Dredd. I loved Carl Urban as Judge Dredd. One of the coolest things in this movie is that they never show him with his helmet off. It's like he's a symbol, not a person. I like that. And the story in this movie is that the USA, and probably the world, but definitely USA, is a thermonuclear wasteland, and there's a big ass city. They do a really good job at illustrating that this city sucks ass. No one wants to live there, but there's nowhere else to live. This thing is huge too. It like spans states. And the men and women of the Hall of Justice, not that Hall of Justice, yeah, the Judge Dredd Hall of Justice. They're trying to maintain the peace, and these judges are judge, jury, and executioner on scene. So long story short, Judge Dredd's training this rookie chick who's pretty hot, and she's psychic. And I was like, say what? Come on, psychic? I didn't have high hopes for this movie. Now we have a psychic on the scene. However, I gave the movie a shot. So Judge Dredd and this chick judge in training who's a psychic go into this big building. It's a big ass tall building. That's pretty much like, if I can compare it to anything, it's like Omega from Mass Effect 2. You know, it's where all the crime and the shitty scumbags hang out. They do their dealings. There's a lot of murder there. You have civilians that live in the mix, but they don't really matter. They live there not because they want to, but just kind of because that's where they live. So they go in there to get someone. Lena Headey, who runs the entire thing, locks the place down. She's like, hey, any scumbags out there, kill the street judges. And now we have our action movie because the bullets start flying. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought this movie was gonna be dreadful. I had no hope for this movie, but the movie is pretty fun. First of all, I thought I'd seen everything there was to offer with slow-mo. Usually I'm like, way too many slow-mo shots in this movie. What's the point of the slow-mo? What's the deal with all the slow-mo? But they had a story-based reason for the slow-mo in this movie. There's this drug. People inhale it. It makes the mind think that time's passing at like 1% its normal rate. So everyone's all like tripping balls, doing this shit. Everything's all just like really slow motion. What's really cool is when you see tweakers on that and Judge Dredd kicks the door in and you see what he sees and he's just wasting people and the bullets start cutting through people's faces in slow-mo. And you're just like, all right, new application for slow-mo. It's not a new application. I guess it's just the same thing. It's slow-mo bullets flying through the air and shredding through people. But you respect it more for being worked into the story. You're like, all right, props. This movie had some badassery. Bullets are flying. It's violent as hell. Yeah, leave the kids at home. It's not for them. Is it entertaining for we adults? Yeah, it is. Another thing this movie has is a great villain. Lena Headey, usually she's hot as hell. In this one, she looks like a tweaker scumbag Scarface piece of shit. And she plays arguably the biggest thunder cunt you've ever seen on screen. And I know, it's true though. It's true. For people who are like, he said that word, I did. But it's true. There's no other word to describe her. You can take the nicest girl ever who's like, I hate the C word. She'll come out of this movie being like, yeah, that chick was one cuntbag piece of shit. She needed to go down, bring in the Dredd. Lena Headey did a great job at playing a great villain. This chick was just evil. And what I liked among all the action that's really awesome eye candy and you're just having popcorn fun with it is the fact that the street judges have their code. The chick in this movie, she's psychic and she reads this dude's mind. She's like, I'm 99% sure that that guy has murdered a lot of people. Judge Dredd in the best Batman voice ever is like, 99% ain't enough. I was like, holy shit, that dude needs 100%. That guy's a legit street judge. And the whole psychic thing, as cheesy as that could have been, was actually used really well in the movie. As well as throwing a psychic in the mix could be. There were a couple of really cool moments where they used it. And there were even a couple of moments in this movie where I was like, I didn't expect that. A couple of cool character moments where you're like, hey, thanks popcorn movie for being just a little more than you had to be. But in the end, the thing I love about this movie is it knows what it is. It doesn't try to have some big conspiracy with chief justices. And there's no shitty clone aspect. It's like, hey, let's do Judge Dredd with as much bullets as you can put on the screen. Let's just have people have fun. This is pretty much popcorn movie the way popcorn movies should be. In the end, I will say I will buy Dredd on Blu-ray. It's a fun-ass movie with an evil villain and a badass judge. So what's your favorite action movie of the year? Not counting the Avengers. Stop it. No cheating. Whatever your favorite action movie of the year is, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.